despite the fact that not that much happens in Blending Christmas, I actually really enjoyed this film. It's got a really great vibe and it is very Christmassy. I also didn't know Beth Broderick was in it until I started watching it, so that was a really pleasant surprise. This is a 2021 Lifetime Christmas film directed by Marla Sokoloff, and alongside Beth Broderick, it also stars Haylie Duff as Emma and Aaron O'Connell as Liam. I also particularly enjoyed Christopher Knight as Brian. Brian was a character I just seemed to take to very well. I really liked that character. And it's all about a potential engagement. Now, what I will say is the opening scene feels very different to the rest of the film. It starts off with Emma with some friends. They're in a restaurant and they're discussing the possibility of whether or not her long-term boyfriend Liam will propose to her, and her friends seem to think that this is going to be imminent, and it feels kind of very contemporary, very crisp. And then after that fact, it's actually a lot more homely, a lot more traditional. So the opening scene, I guess in hindsight, is quite jarring and doesn't really set up the feel of the film very well. But after that fact, it is very consistent and very enjoyable. Liam has planned a surprise for Emma, and he's arranged, unbeknown to her, for both of their families to come together to this Christmas lodge where Emma used to spend a lot of Christmases as a child. And of course, the plan is for him to actually propose to her at some point while they're there. We as the viewer know this. Emma, of course, doesn't. And her families come together and they interact very well. I enjoyed it a lot, so I can't really say that there was nothing... I can't say that I would want anything to have been done differently, but if I were to point to areas of improvement, maybe there could have been more conflict between the families. There wasn't very much happening. We got to see them do different Christmas activities, and there was some gorgeous scenery. Absolutely stunning views. Really beautiful. Apparently this was filmed at the Hummingbird Nest Ranch in Santa Susana in California. I don't know if that's the only filming location, but certainly whatever we did see is stunning. But there isn't much action, not much happens, but I did have this constant sense of anticipation, because obviously we don't know when he is going to pop the question, if you like, and I was worried there would be conflicts or rising action that would get in the way. To be honest, there wasn't. Not much happened. And normally for me, I'm very narrative driven, rather than driven by, special effects or other elements of cinematography. So I like a good narrative. But despite the fact that the narrative definitely has room for development, I liked it. It was warm, it was fuzzy, the characters were really likeable. The characters that had flaws weren't so flawed that it meant they rubbed up against me the wrong way. And also, just for information, Beth Broderick as Michelle, absolutely loved her. So that made me very happy as well. It's warm, it's fuzzy, it's very easy to watch. It's a very easy watch, despite that constant sense of anticipation. Yeah, it's not perfect. From a technical perspective, by which I mean a writing perspective, there are a lot of areas of improvement. But because after that first scene, the feel of the film is just spot on, and the characters are so easy to get on with, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. So maybe there's areas of improvement, but despite that, I really loved Blending Christmas. It was exactly what I was in the mood for, and it delivered what I was hoping for, and needless to say, I'm very happy to recommend it.